Hi everyone, this is Daniel
And my mom.
with Brothers at Play, and today I had a friend that was requesting that I do a video on my quote-unquote emergency bag. So first and foremost, every time the boys are sick or have a fever or anything like that, or a cough,
Or a fever.
exactly, this is my go-to box. This is definitely my go-to box. This is taking me time to figure this out, and what I figured out is this one time I believe Matthew was sick, my firstborn, and he we needed to go to emergency, and I, being a first-time mom, I didn't know what you needed, whatever it was. All I know is that Matthew had like a fever of like 103, and I was panicking. So I grabbed him, we left to urgent care, actually to emergency, and we ended up sitting there for about a good hour before they even ended up taking us back to a room, checked in. Meanwhile, I kept checking Matthew's fever with the ear temperature, this one, and it kept going up and up and up, and I was panicking. Matthew was starting to kind of doze out, and I said, you know, his fever's getting worse. And then finally they took us to the back, took his temperature, was like 103.2, and he was small, and and then come to find out, they administered some Tylenol for him, some fever reducer, and I look at the bill and they charged me like $145 just to do that. But if I was prepared and I had my own fever reducer, yeah, would have saved me some money. Besides, the key is being prepared. So first and foremost is right here, whenever I use it, I always take Daniel's weight. So Daniel's weight, as you can tell, it's increasing. And the only reason why I take his weight is because some of these medications go by weight. So that's what I go by, is the weight. So let's take your weight right now, Daniel, because I need to update your medicine box. Okay? Thank you. Okay, so Daniel already knows. Okay, so put your feet straight. Put your tootsies straight. Not on there, because I can't see. Okay, so you look like you're about 60. Let's see. 60. I'd say you're about 58. About 58 pounds. Alright, so I write the date. Okay, baby, you're good. So we're in the month of, excuse me, I will let you do it. We're in the month of February. You're 58 pounds.
And it's 2022.
That's right, and we're in the year 2022. So I write that. That's your weight. And sometimes I get lazy because I don't put it behind the little sheath right here, and the reason why I have it in a plastic sheath is because when I close it, I don't want any of these things to pop open and mess up the papers. So here's his updated weight. So we have that for now. That's like very important. And one moment. And then also too, what I have here, I got this from the doctor's office. It's dosing for infants and children for Tylenol, right here. And then this chart is dosing for infants and children for Motrin. So this I got from the doctor's office, from the boys' pediatrician. And this is the infants Tylenol oral suspension. Infants, keyword infants, and this is children's Tylenol oral suspension, so children. So infants, is a different dosage compared to children's. So here is the weight, the age, how much you're going to administer. And this one, the same thing, Motrin. The weight, the age, how much you're going to administer. So again, talk to your doctor or your child's pediatrician. Maybe they can possibly find this out, or you can go online and find out and have this on there, because sometimes when you're in a hurry, you just kind of panic and it's like, oh boy. And that's come in handy for me. From what I'm learning, basically the things you want to be able to cover is fever, cough, stomach pain, cuts, and bites. Cuts and bites, I mean, and stomach pain, yeah, but the cuts and bites, that's more like a first aid kit. This is like my medicine kit whenever the boys are sick. So we have the weight, this, and of course, so for fever, I have the children's Motrin. I have that. And if you have like a little infant, like a baby, of course you're going to want to get the smaller size, the dosage, not smaller size, but a bottle, but the smaller dosage to administer. So this one's infants. So if you have a little one, I mean, use the infants, and if you have like children, older, there's the children's Tylenol. That's my first aid kit for the part. So I have Motrin for fever reducer, pain reliever, inflammation, fever, or any pain or swelling. This helps reduce that. And then you have your Tylenol for fever, pain. So those are good. Those are like bare necessities for fever. And then to monitor for fever, to check for fever, I use the Braun thermoscan. And this is really simple. I've had this one for at least like 10 years. 10 years. And it's been dropped a few times, but hook or crook, it works. And this one goes in their ear. And this one, as my son's pediatrician says, this monitors. This one's quote unquote scans for fever, and this one confirms if there's a fever. And again, not a doctor. Please talk to your pediatrician about this. But these are just ideas. This one I use to make sure that they do have fever, because sometimes this isn't like 100% accurate. If you're able to put this in your children's mouth, great, because you get more of an accurate reading. But if you're not able to, or if they're asleep, you put this underneath their armpit right here. You let it read and you add 1 degree. So that'll give you a truer reading compared to this one. So that's why I have both of these. Scan for fever, confirm for fever. Then I have this notebook here. This I've been charting him like back in the day, the time that he would eat, if he had a bowel movement, here, bottle, how much he had, and then, so forth. So this comes in handy. This comes in very handy, especially when you're going to the doctor's office or the emergency room and you're charting everything down that you have administered or that you've noticed. So he spiked a temperature of 102 at 8:58 p.m. and you checked it by mouth. So then you gave 5 ml of TY, that's short for Tylenol, at 9 p.m. So this is nice because if you're going to the ER, again, your mind's in 20 different places. And if you look at your chart, you're like, okay, the last time I gave him Tylenol was 4 hours ago, so it's time for him to get more. Or same thing with ibuprofen. Oh, the last time I gave it to him was at this time, 6 hours have gone by. It's time to give him more Tylenol. That's if he has, the fever or something like that. So this comes in handy because then you can cross-references with his pediatrician or the emergency room doctors or anything like that. So this really helps out when you can chart when you gave him, what you've given him, and this helps. So of course, have a pen. I like this because I can put the pen right here and it stays. So there's that. And so we covered fever, cough, and so for cough, this has been modified over time. I've had other things in here, like for when Daniel was small, I used to have those little syringe, those squishy balls that you squish, and it like either pushes things out, flushes things, or sucks it out. I used to use that for his nose all the time, but now he's older, don't need that anymore. So for cough, I had discovered these at CVS Pharmacy like a long time ago, maybe about 8 years ago. And now there's other brands. I think they caught on to the idea, other companies. And these are popsicles, but they're cough drops. And that way you don't have to worry about your little ones choking on anything, but you still need to do supervision with these. When they first came out, CVS brand, these actually weren't sticks. They were like little loops. So that way if the kid was like walking around and they fell, it wasn't going to go straight to the back of their throat. It would just kind of smush. So this was actually like in a loop, in a circle. So I kind of miss that. I'd still wish they'd have that, but yeah. So CVS Pharmacy has these. These are very good to stock up on, whether you put it in your car, your emergency little medicine bag, or whatever. These are like perfect and great. And sometimes I think my son would knock out in the car and I didn't have to worry about him choking on it, but I could easily grab it and take it out. So this is for cough. As you can tell, I have a bunch of these because they do come in handy for cough. And then I used to use the Robitussin Honey Cough and Chest Congestant for his cough, but I don't know what it is. It's I'm gonna update this basically. Well, it's still good because this is an expectorant, so it helps loosen the phlegm and get it out. So this is still good to have. But in terms of like cough, my pediatrician had recommended the Dimetap Cold and Cough, and this one, children's, seems to work like really well. I don't know why my hand's so shaky. Relieves nasal symptoms, stuffy nose, runny nose, sneeze, plus other itchy, watery eyes, cough, and so forth. So this one, I like. This one seems to work better for Daniel for cough. Tummy pain, I really haven't had to use this, the Pepto Kids. And sometimes, like, the boys will accidentally, like, eat too much sugar and they're not supposed to. And they'll have like a tummy ache. And I don't do the liquid because sometimes the liquids taste kind of funny. So I'll do the chewable because some of these have like a sweet bubblegum taste and they like the flavor of this. So this I really haven't had to use. So this really isn't in the immediate pouch or box that I use all the time. But this is a possibility for like tummy pain, the Pepto Kids. Cuts, that's more like first aid kit, and bites, that's kind of like first aid kit as well, but I have had to use this for their bites. So I did look into this bug bite thing, and I'd say it's like a half and half. I read the reviews, got this at Target. And if you have like a bigger bite, you flip it over, go like this, and then you're supposed to like squeeze like 1, 2, 3, or 4 times. And it's supposed to help get like the venom out and make it less itchy. Or if you have a smaller bite and it's more concentrated, you could use this side and do your 1, 2, 3. And it just kind of sucks the venom out. Not the venom, but the bugs. secretions that they have from their mouth. It kind of has it come out. Again, it's like a half and half. I'm not solely relied on this. So I do have it there because actually the boys kind of like playing with it. But I do have, where is it? Where is my, here it is. The Benadryl, the chewable Benadryl. You can use the liquid Benadryl. There's the liquid form, but I mean that would take a lot of room in there. But I just use the chewables because these have a little bit longer shelf life, I believe, and they're able to go in my first aid kit in the car, and it gets really hot sometimes, and I don't want them drinking like hot liquid or something, so I'll pop these in there. The Benadryl, my pediatrician, because I used to give them the Claritin for like bug bites, but he said, no, don't do that. Do the Benadryl because it's the overall antihistamine, and it just seems to work better on like bug bites, stings, inflammation, the swelling with the associated bug bite. So he prefers using Benadryl compared to Claritin for bug bites and stings and whatnot. The Claritin, I need to get more. The chewable, I normally have that in there. The chewable, that's totally like allergy, sniffly, watery nose, or runny nose, watery eyes, that stuff. And then this is for the hydrocortisone. That's for the itch cream to help alleviate anti-itch cream. So this does help. And then I have these two pads, the sting relief pad for the bug bites. This is just a trash bag, but it's a throw it bag, and I got to do this quick. This is the saline spray for their nose, and sometimes, real quick, these don't have the right amount of dosage, so I do have a syringe, and I do have the Easy Breathe and the Q-tips to administer around their nose, and a tissue. And if they don't like the taste of Tylenol, there's children's chewable as well. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, again, talk to your children's pediatrician.